G'day and welcome back to the channel. Hey, I got rego.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Old soul only is go.
So yeah, I'm out test driving. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I've got a couple of things with the car that are little issues. My cooling system, I don't have a temperature gauge. I've got really old hoses, and I'm just going to send it. We'll see what happens. I've been on a couple of drives and it's been okay, but I'm going a bit further away and we'll do a big uphill up the mountain in a minute, and we'll get to the top and we'll see how the temperature's going. But yeah, no, she's quiet. I've got both windows open, so I don't hear a bit of wind noise, but the thing's like an electric vehicle for me. It's just so quiet, I'm not used to it. So yeah, that went really well, except all my footage is corrupted and the sound didn't work, and I lost it all. So the car went good. It didn't overheat. I do have some hoses on order, which hopefully will come this week, but at least I know I can kind of drive it around safely. I need to fix this temperature gauge. I do need to pull the dash out and see what's going on there. So what I want to do today is start lowering this thing. It's way too high. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get changed out of this, put some work clothes on, turn this car around, we'll jack it up, and we'll start with the rear end because that's the easiest, and we'll get this thing squatted at the back, and then we can start working on the front springs. Let's go. So before we start, we'll just get some perspective on where we're at right now. So the wheel arch is right at the edge of the rim there, and we'll take another shot of that when we put these blocks in. Righto, we're in. I didn't film at all because it's a pain in the butt to film under here. But let's get this jack out and see where we sit. Oh baby. I don't know if it looks as dramatic as it does in the flesh, but that's some serious drop, and it looks awesome. The front's got to come down a bit though. But yeah, that's unreal. Check out how low it is at the back. So I'm not particularly excited about getting in the front this afternoon. I'm tired and it's hot, and there's only probably an hour worth of sun left. What I am excited about is taking it for a spin and getting some photos. Let's do that. You know what, sitting like that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, the front's got to come down, but it doesn't look ridiculous. That sun's in a bad spot. I hope I can get more wheels off. That's going to be the big thing, I guess. Should be right. We'll go back to that perspective, hey? So there you go. We'll grab the before and the after. Pretty awesome. So I just moved to somewhere I can get a decent side shot. It looks good. It's still too high in the front, like underneath. We've got tons of clearance. So maybe tomorrow I might pull the front springs out and do that then, but I'm not doing it now. We're done. See you then. Righto, it's the next day. Let's lower this front end. If there's a perspective shot, and I don't know if you can see, but the tyre, top of the tyre is right on that line pretty much. So I haven't decided how many coils to take off yet. I'd like to go 2, but I don't know if that's going to be too much, because it starts to affect the ride pretty significantly when you start chopping up coils. Best option for something like this is to buy the correct lowered springs, but we're not doing that. So let me tell you where I'm at. In the middle is the 57 spring. On the outsides here are some early Pontiac springs, sort of 50, well, they're out of my 53 actually. They're a bit shorter. Now if I take one coil off this, it's not really much of a chop. If I take 2 out, it's massive. So I'm concerned that it might be too low. It's never too low, but it really affect the handling of the vehicle, and I know this from experience. These ones are lower by about 1.5 of these. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck one of these in now and put it back on the ground and see where it sits. And if I'm not happy with that height, we'll go the 2. How's that sound? I think that's dropped it nicely, and it gives me a full spring in there. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. That looks good. Let's get the shock back in that side, put it back together, and then we'll get the other side done. Nice and simple work. This has probably taken me about 20 minutes. Righto, well, I'm done. Let's let it down. We'll go for a cruise, let it settle, and we'll have a look at it. Righto, so we're down to the white wall line, which is about 3 inches, I reckon. So we've come down 3, and I think about 3.5 on the back from memory. Let's step back and have a look. So that took about an hour all up, with all the faffing around with the camera as well. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that result. And I retained the original springs, which I don't really need, but it's always good to keep the original parts on an original car. The next big thing, I guess, is going to be the exhaust system. I really need to get some volume coming out of them pipes. I think it's time for me to go for a cruise, because I'm loving it. But that's it from me. Stay tuned, be good to your mates, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.